Into the Matrix, like Keanu Reeves out here.
Hello, and welcome back to another edition of our Talk It Out sessions presented by V.E.R.B. We are your hosts, Aaron Tate, Adrian Post, saying hello to our future selves. If you've caught our other videos, that you know what we like to do is we take a specific topic, particularly one that is controversial, and we like to discuss it. We come up with different talking points to bring up throughout the discussion, but we also like to get involved with you guys as well. So for those of you tuning in, please feel free to comment and ask questions you think might contribute to the conversation. And with that being said, today's lovely topic is conversation rules a nation. And before we get into it, we'll give some people time to tune in. If you're tuning in, please say hi in the chat so we can see who you are, so we can talk to you guys. If you're also tuning in on Facebook, make sure you come to the YouTube page to join the live there. Adrian will be posting the link to the YouTube in the chat in Facebook. So make sure you click on the link, come to the YouTube, make sure you like the video, subscribe to it, and turn on post notifications so you can catch every time we go live. And we'll give you guys a few minutes to get logged in.
How do I get the... Got it. Copy link. Boom. Boom. Got it. Good evening, Lilo.
Trinity, please come to the YouTube if you're live. Please come to the YouTube and join us there.
Let's get this party started.
All right, so just to kind of frame how today's live is going to go, and to provide a little backstory. So if you caught our last live, thank you so much for tuning in and chiming in and things like that. This has been an interesting week. So what I've done is I've posted a few clips from our live from last week on TikTok. And then there was one particular clip that I posted that was specifically about the segment we did on whether or not it is a red flag if women do not offer to contribute on the first date, right? So I posted a clip and got a lot of plays or a lot of views, but it didn't get a lot of positive reviews or positive feedback from a lot of the women that saw the clip. A lot of the women that saw the clip took issue with I guess the conversation that was being had, or took issue with the suggestion that women should even think about pulling out their wallet or pulling out any cash on the first date. And I don't remember us, calling women out of their name.
We never did.
On that video. I don't remember us insulting any woman's mother or their mother's mother on that video.
Nope.
However, these, women who commented on the video, they, were calling us all kinds of names. They were calling us feminine males, or calling us gay possibly, or saying that this is why they don't date podcast men, or basically just insulting us without further probing or further trying to gather more information about the context in which we were speaking, right? Or at least just what the context was surrounding why we were having that discussion, right? So we want to take this video as an opportunity to kind of respond to a lot of the comments or some of the backlash that we did get, just to kind of further the conversation that was started, from that video. So do you have the comments that you want to address?
This is the one that started this 3-day conversation that I had with this lady. So one of the ladies commented and said, sounds like two feminine boys, alpha male wannabes, manipulative traditional male wannabes having a chat. Those American women are in danger. So one would assume that she does not live in America.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a good thing since she's out of country viewing our video. However, this comment was so aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, we never insulted anyone. We never talked about anyone's mother's mother. But the fact that you now feel sorry for the entire race of females in America due to a 3-minute clip from a conversation you have not even asked or probed the context behind why we're even having the conversation for, I now feel sorry for those wherever you live men.
Now,
and this is not a tit for tat feel sorry. I'm going to explain why.
Before you go into detail, do you want to explain what was said on the video, just in case anybody didn't see it?
Well, we were in the part of the video where we were talking about why I felt like it's not a red flag for men towards women if they don't offer to contribute on the first date, due to the fact that most women are raised in our traditional mindset, and most of them see it as the man's responsibility to pay for everything. And that mindset follows them throughout the entirety of the marriage or in our relationship. And I stated that as a man who believes in partnership, and I believe that we are to be working together towards a specific goal to build in a relationship, we should both be contributing parties. And for men, a great thing would be for the very first date for the woman to be like, do you mind if I? Even if we deny it, just the ask would let me know that she's more of a partner. She's not viewing me as a sole responsible party. She really wants to partner with me, as opposed to just assuming that the man is supposed to be doing all of these things. And I stated, well, it's okay. Let's let them have that since they were raised in that way. However, once we get deeper or further into the relationship, we should then open up the conversation so that this particular mindset, even though we let it slide on the first date, don't leak over into the rest of the marriage, because we're now trying to build a partnership, and I'm not your sponsor. I'm not your father. And they took it left.
All right, so now is the opportunity. Now that you guys have context, now we want to respond to a few of the comments from a few of the women that that had something to say about just that.
So to the lady that stated, she feels sorry for the women in America, I want to say I feel sorry for the men that live wherever you live, but it's not a specific you thing. I also feel sorry for the men that live wherever, anyone who sees a 3-minute clip, asks no questions, and dive right into an attack on the people that's speaking. And not only feel sorry for the men, because I'm pretty sure you have friends, or whoever does that has friends. So I feel sorry for the men and the women that live in any area of the world that don't have enough mental patience or mental fortitude to calm down, assess a conversation, and ask the appropriate question before then responding. The fact that you responded so aggressively showed that you were triggered by something. And the fact that we were just having a conversation about how we feel and how the current dynamic of relationships and dating are not really producing productivity or fruitfulness that it should. We're offering something else because what we have isn't working. And if it is working, it's only working for a particular or specific period of time. And later on down the line, that man ends up bitter or cheating on you or coming off like he owns you, and you fail to realize the reason that he's doing that is because you've taken this sponsorship type of role from the first date, and now you've given him that much power the entire time. Instead of partnering with him, you're now basically his daughter, or it comes off more like you're a slave to him. And we're offering something that would stop that in the future. But the fact that it was refuted on every level before any questions was asked, I feel sorry for anyone watching a video and just automatically dives right into it, instead of starting to develop skills that's going to help you fully gauge and measure what's being said up against the results of what's being done throughout the entire generations we've had so far.
Okay. Was that the only comment you wanted to respond to?
There was another one.
So while you look for that one, I'll respond to the lady that I was going tit for tat for. So there was one particular woman that or a young lady that I, had my own little back and forth with as well. So she made a comment, and the comment was, her comment was basically, well, think about if women are with their friends. Women typically pay for themselves when they're around their friends, right? So if a woman is out on a date with a man, how is she supposed to feel special if she's still expected to pay any portion of the date? And so I responded in kind. I said, okay, let's say a man does pay the entire bill or pay for everything. What are you doing to make him feel special if him paying for everything makes you feel special? So then she responds with, isn't it obvious? Women bring a lot to the relationship. And so I asked, well, what do women bring to the relationship? So she starts naming things such as, basically naming marital traits such as the usual make a house a home, cooking, cleaning, being his piece, blah, 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 blah. All right. So I'm like, okay, all of that is fine. I'm not disputing any of that. However, you're naming marital traits that have nothing to do with the first date. Can you give me what a woman is doing on a first date to make him feel special? So she responded, but it was basically dodging the question again. And I'm like, and she went back to the marital traits. So I'm like, ma'am, you're still talking about marital benefits.
You don't get married on the first date.
So she makes the comment, well, isn't that the purpose of dating, is to get married? I only date to marry. And I said, so do I. I agree with you. However, we're not getting married on the first date. The man is not proposing to you on the first date, is he? So she's like, no, I don't know who would propose to you on the okay.
So why did you bring up marital traits?
So let's answer the question then. And so basically, what the purpose of the conversation was to highlight how, yes, we always have talks about what men are supposed to do, whether it be on the first date or what they're supposed to do once the relationship continues further down the line. But we're never talking about what women are doing to complement or equate to the benefits that they're getting from the man, right? A lot of women are of the mindset that from the beginning, the man is supposed to take care of everything, and all I have to do is show up, and that's enough, because they're convinced that I'm the prize, right? Mm-hmm. And the whole I'm the prize thing really bothers me, because I don't think people understand the purpose of a prize, right? So I'm gonna use an example of like the Olympics. Hold on one second. So let's say
hold on, we have one comment. Lilo says, to be honest, it's just the way our world is so far. How they only want to give their opinion based off of what they see instead of what they know. I had used to think the same way, to be truthful, but when I started dating my husband and became more mature, I realized it's not just us women who should always be catered to and should always focus the attention to. Men too want the same thing, or at least some type of acknowledgement. You're absolutely correct.
Absolutely. So the example I want to use is someone playing Olympic Games, right? Whatever category you're competing in. And then we also know that by the end of the Olympic Games, we have qualifications such as someone who won the gold medal, someone who won silver, and someone who won bronze, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say that I compete in the Olympics and I win a gold medal, right? I have now won the prize of a gold trophy or a gold necklace or a necklace with a gold medallion on it or whatever. That me simply winning the Olympics winning the prize of gold doesn't stop there. Winning the prize of gold offers me or affords me other opportunities to expand upon my now newfound publicity, newfound fame, and then also newfound sponsorships that are going to come with the my accolades of having won the gold medal, right? So a prize is supposed to provide you with more benefits than you started with.
Please make that a clip on TikTok.
And I know I'm gonna get canceled for this.
But hey, I'm with you.
But hey, I'm saying a prize is supposed to bring you more benefits than what you started with.
It doesn't stop at, hey, look at this.
It doesn't stop at, hey, I have a trophy.
Okay, now what?
It continues though, okay, I won the trophy. Now people see what I have done and now are also interested in what I can offer to their brand, right? So now I'm going to get sponsorships, which sponsorships means more money. I'm going to get more fame. So with more fame gets more attention. More attention means more opportunities to do more things with other companies that want to use me or allow me to use their platform to promote whatever it is that I want to do, right? So let's say I don't want to just do Olympics for the rest of my life. I want to start a podcast or I want to start a business. People are more likely to invest in what I have based on the fact that they know what I've done to garner the success that I currently have. So again, when women say, well, we're the prize, okay.
What comes with it?
What comes with you?
That's what we're asking. When we say, what do you bring to the table? We're going to let you have that you're the prize, but what comes with that prize? And if nothing comes with that prize, then you need to pick another item to be, because you can't be the prize.
And you need to understand that your presence alone
It's
not it. I know the world has convinced you that all you have to do is show up and that's it. I know that there are some men that may say that, but I'm letting you. These are two men letting you know that know now that your presence alone is not enough. You have to come with some things.
You're not God.
And if your question is, well, what are those things that you're wanting us to come with? We can absolutely have a conversation about that. But before we get to that conversation, you need to be willing to consider that simply showing up may not be all that we think it is, right? Looks like we got a couple comments on YouTube. Hannah Smith, hey Hannah.
Hey Hannah. Hey Jazz.
Hey Jazz.
Hannah and Shauna.
Shauna.
Hey, Shauna.
Okay, Shauna. See.
Okay.
I told her she whenever she tunes in, she has to say hey, so we know it's her.
Okay. That was beautiful. That was the perfect breakdown. I don't have anything to say. Please get that clip.
Absolutely.
That prize, that's it.
Yeah.
Like that is a perfect example of, okay, we'll let you get the prize, but what does that award us? And I want to go ahead.
And I want to expand on it a little bit, because women usually have a lot of requirements for men, right? As far as, okay, you got to have a lot of money, you got to have status, you have to be desirable to other women. Like you have to be 6 foot tall. Got to be 6 foot tall.
Tell me I'm lying.
Have to be 6 foot tall. But they're not considering, okay, all of the work that I've had to do in order to gain the status and to gain the level of income that you want, or to gain whatever kind of desirable trait that other women find attractive in me, to gain all of these things that you now find attractive. Okay, well, I've now worked for what I have to make me attracted to you. What are you doing to earn?
Equivalent to the workout, the exercises, the dedication, the discipline that people do to win prizes. They do all of that because they know once they get this trophy, it comes with all of those things that you stated. The problem is nobody has had their foot down hard enough on the conversation and stood right there until women realize, I don't have any of that. And that's okay, like you stated, that you don't have it, because we're here to tell you what you can be working on. So while we're working on the resources, the body build, the income, the fame, the fortune, when we work all of that up and decide, I want that one. When I grab you, you also should be working on your things so that when I get you, we're now partnering in building this brand together.
Absolutely.
That's a partnership.
Absolutely.
Outside of that, you're a leech. And I'm not trying to be harsh or abrasive, but if you are not contributing to a partnership, then you're leeching, you're mooching off of the individual. That's just what it is. That's by definition. Like, I'm not coming for anyone. That's just by definition. Yeah. So also I want to speak to something you stated earlier when you was like, well, the women point of if I go out with my friends and I have to pay for my own meal then, and I'm on a date with you and I have to do the same, then what's the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
I fully believe that they don't even paint the fact that we go out too. When me and you go out, we pay for our own food too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when we who just went out last weekend bought our own wings,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go out this weekend, what's the difference?
What are we doing?
So now you're basically telling me that me paying for someone else should make me feel special, because that's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So me paying for someone else should make me feel special.
Correct.
Why doesn't that apply to you too?
Mm-hmm. I have no idea. Now, another argument that they like to make all the time is, okay, well, you asked me out. Whoever asks whoever out is the one responsible for paying. That concept would make sense.
I could agree with that
if you the
person that's saying it has ever asked a man out and did that.
On top of that, it was equal on both sides. If women asked men out equal to or greater than what men were asking women out, then that's a valid argument.
Cool.
But let's not sit up here and act like majority of the women in the world will sit up. We just got into it with the woman today. Majority of the women of the world believe that it is not their place nor their purpose to sit up here and approach a man that they like or find attractive and ask him out. Majority of the women will not do that.
For you who watching, how many of you women has asked a man out on the very first date and paid for it? We'll wait. And this video is going to be up until we die. So we'll always be waiting on one of you, no matter how old it is, no matter how many sets we change. If you hear this question and you qualify, please say, I have.
Please.
How many women watching this has asked a man out on the first date and paid for everything? We'll wait.
And these be the same women making that statement. Well, he asked me out, so he should pay.
But my question to them is, how many times have you asked a man out?
How often are you asking people?
Well, I ain't finna do that. So that's gonna always be the dynamic.
And that's not a valid argument then.
Nah.
That's not a valid argument.
Not at all. Miss Jonah Harris King says never.
Like, you can't make this
that can't be the argument. Lilo said it's just the fact, the relationship versus friendship. Some others say the relationship weighs more than friendship and its values. I think it's why, and that's kind of you to say, but you're failing to realize that the same friendship that the 2 or 3 women had who went out where they had to pay for their own meal is the same friendship that me and Aaron had where we went out and had to pay for our own meal. So I don't have an issue with us assigning special qualities that would dictate whether or not the man or the woman feels special, but we can't act like the scales are the same on each end. And I'm cool if you say, okay, if all the women in the world say, hey, for y'all to pay for us on the first date, that makes us feel special. Cool. I'm telling you then, what'll make me feel special after I've paid for you is if we're having a conversation where I know I've vested my money in, and I ask, well, what do you bring to the table? Answer me. And don't say coochie cooking or cleaning. If you answer me, I feel like my money is well spent.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. I'm gonna let y'all have the payment part. But the fact that you can't answer my question about what you bring to the table, at this point, I feel like I just wasted my money. Because I'm not getting money in return. I don't expect to have sex with you on the first date because y'all don't do that, right? So what am I getting from this? And your presence, unfortunately, baby girl, sweetheart, darling,
It's not enough.
It's not enough. I know your dad told you that, and he was absolutely correct because you were his daughter. You are not my daughter. You are going to be my potential wife. We're going to have possible kids, and my kids and our family needs more than your presence.
Hannah says she never did. Shauna said that she did before was married, but never again.
Daddy, can you use that?
Corvine Paul said, hey y'all, hey. She also said, I will buy the dessert in a good convo. Corvine, what do you mean by a good convo? What kind of conversation are you having with the male on the first date?
Carmilla Bryan says, I will never. I never will. Lilo said, I should have never asked my husband. He said I had suffered since we dated. I paid for our meals since then. Never. Like,
Can't make this stuff up.
What y'all
So
think?
why do we use that as an argument? Then?
Yeah, like,
why do we say he asked me out? So
I don't see one woman that's saying, "Oh, I did it, so it's a thing." Like none of y'all, it's not a thing. You're dodging.
Mm-hmm.
You're dodging.
Moses Anderson, yo, sorry I'm late, bro.
What up, bro? You good?
Better late than never.
Better late than never.
That's crazy, man.
Kareem said, "I will buy the dessert and a good convo." Oh, so you saying you would pay for the dessert and you know how to have a good conversation?
But what conversation are you what kind of conversation are you having? Are you asking questions? What kind of questions are you asking? What is the topic of conversation on a first date for you? Jasmine says, so I asked the question, what do you want from the woman for it to be worth your time?
All right, so for me, and I'm married, I thank God I don't have to go through none of this. For me, I'm cool with paying for the first date, but when I ask what do you bring to the table, you have to realize that since I identify the game that we're playing, and by game we're playing, I mean I understand the dynamic of woman is to gauge the man's financial ability to provide. So therefore you're gauging my ability to pay for this particular meal and not seem like I'm struggling, correct? So you're gauging me to determine if you want to pursue or continue this. So as a man, I'm telling you that if I was on a dating scene and I knew that I had to play the game that way until we can then have these conversations where you're not dodging, when I ask, what do you bring to the table? I need you to provide me with some substance. Do not mention your coochie because I can't get that on the first date, right? Do not mention cleaning because I clean anyway. And do not mention cooking because I know how to cook as well. I need some qualities that is going to solidify in my mind that if I bring you into a house, you're not going to destroy it with your inability to apply simple life skills that I already have. I need also to understand that if I have children with you, you're going to be competent enough to provide them with those same skills that you told me on the first date, by which I hope you've developed. You want to give those to those kids as well. So that's what I want. I need skills. And would you like a list of those skills?
So Deasia said, why we got to go that deep on the first date though? So Deasia.
You went deep in my pocket?
So Deasia.
Why you in my pocket? Why you in my pocket, D? If we can't go that deep, pay for your meal.
Like your arm is
you
like,
in my wallet though, because y'all ain't trying to go to McDonald's.
Here, son.
Okay, question, Deasia, real quick. What's the most amount of, or the least amount of money you expect a man to spend on the first date?
Please answer that
25, 50, 75, or 100. Pick one, please.
Hannah Smith said, I feel like a guy can be romantic and not really spend money on a date and still get to know them. I had a guy bring me to a lit up lake that you can walk out at night with ducks. It was cute. Okay.
Camilla Bryan, while we're waiting on Deasia to answer the question, Camilla Bryan says, once we reach fiance status, then maybe I'll pay for some.
That's
thankful for.
Crazy.
You know how many milestones that we possibly got to pass to reach fiance? You know how deep you in this man's wallet?
Like your shoulder is covered.
You know what, Miss Carmilla, I'm glad you stated that because it answers Deasia's question. Deasia, the reason we got to get that deep on the first date is because people like you and Miss Carmilla Bryan, when I say people, I mean women, I'm sorry. Women like y'all, and I ain't mad on nothing. Women like y'all are so deep in our wallets. We're struggling to try to find value. Like, who on this live would walk up to a vending machine and put $100 bill in and walk away?
Nobody.
Who on this live would walk up to a vending machine? Now, a vending machine is not a complex machine. It's a vending machine, right? Who would put $100 in a vending machine and walk away?
Nobody.
You expect what? Something in return.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all are saying you expect us to put all of this money in on the first date,
mm-hmm.
and I can't get deep enough to ask you what you bring to the table?
Mm-hmm.
We got a problem. Baby, you out of order.
Deasia said, we getting to know the vibes first. This is letting me know if we can go on another date.
Pay for your own meal then. If I can't ask you Deasia, I can't ask you a question. Matter of fact, let's run it like this, Deasia. What would you prefer me to ask you then? For you don't have to take me out anywhere too expensive, but we ain't getting a 2 for $20.
That's
Okay, Deja. So I'm getting the $50 range, right?
yes.
Okay, Deja, give me a $50 question I can ask you. Go. And for the other women on here, please help her because I know she's not gonna have one. Please, because y'all come together.
Help her out.
Come together and give me a $50 question that I could ask. Since what you bring to the table is too deep. But I need a $50 question because I'm putting $50 in the machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I need a $50 question.
And here's the thing. You say, why we got to get that deep on the first date?
Lilo said, so deep, y'all might need a prosthetic.
Jasmine mentioned the agency. Said I'm hollering.
Jazz, I need a $50 question. Hannah, I need a $50 question.
So here's the thing.
Kareen, I need a $50 question.
Your question is why we got to get that deep on the conversation. So answer me this: are you not gauging or are you not using a man's ability to pay for the first date? Are you not using that to gauge whether or not he can be a potential provider for you in the long run? And is that or is that not deep? Considering the fact that we're talking about a long-term relationship. We're talking about potential marriage. Is marriage not deep or is that surface all of a sudden?
That's the deepest you can go.
Like
there's no depth past marriage.
There's no further depth we can get at that point.
Camilla Bryan said, but I'm worth it. How? I need to know
how. We're asking you how.
Carmilla, I'm asking you how.
So now when we start questioning what you bring is too deep all of a sudden. But when you're trying to gauge my pockets to determine if I can provide for you in the future, that's
you
not
walking
deep.
on water. It ain't deep at all. You
Not,
Jesus now. The water is not even deep anymore. It's
that's not deep?
It's not deep. They Jesus. They walk on water now. I need a $50 questions.
Deja said, what are your goals and aspirations? Is that a question that you're asking? Oh, she's saying that's a question we can ask her.
That's a $5 question.
That's a 2 for $20 question.
Yeah, that's a 2.
We definitely getting that 2 for $20.
Cool. That's a 2 for $20 question. But you asked for a $50 date, Deja.
Yep.
I need a $50 question.
Yep.
Y'all help your girl out now.
Come on.
She's struggling.
Jasmine.
Come on,
Jasmine.
Come on.
Help her out.
Come on. I need a $50 question, Carmilla.
Come on, man. We got to do better.
What up, Ravens? What up, Marquez?
Hannah Smith said, y'all getting high maintenance women, I feel like, because I'm not really expecting anything from a man unless it's been discussed first.
Okay,
Here's the thing, Hannah. So, yes, you can say that you're not expecting that from men. However, you're an exception. And the thing that a lot of people say, or a common saying, is exceptions don't make the rule. Yes, right? It hit a little different. I can't take credit for it, but that is a common saying. Exceptions do not make the rule.
That's good.
So just because you may not do it, that doesn't mean that it's still not a larger issue that needs to be addressed amongst the larger population, right? It may be all well for a man to find you and be happy, but we're talking about majority men that are struggling with dating due to the traditions and rules that have been set forth that really don't benefit us at all. So we're having this larger conversation to address the larger epidemic that is at hand, because this is too large of an issue to go unchecked. A lot of women are high maintenance. That's just what it is. I think Jasmine gave us a $50 question. Jasmine said, other than your financial capabilities, what else can you do to bring substance to a stable relationship?
So let's pause, because Jazz, I love you, but I got to get you. So Jazz is telling us to ask this question to them.
$50 question.
Okay, this is a $50 question that a man should say. Hey, other than your financial capabilities, what else can you do to bring substance to a stable relationship? Jazz, the problem with this is you are giving yourself capabilities that we don't know about yet. So why would you even put that in there? Like, you're trying to get us to stroke your ego to make you feel better about the other stuff that you probably don't have to say.
Right, because how can you say other than financial capabilities when you're not the one paying for this date? I'm the one responsible for the bill. So how do I even know that you have financial capabilities?
Jazz, this ain't you.
Come on, Jazz.
This ain't you.
Come better than that,
This
Jazz.
ain't you, Jazz.
come harder than that, Jazz.
That's a $7 question, Jazz.
How do I know that you're financially capable if I'm the one paying?
That's a $7 question, and you owe me change. That first sentence, Jazz, you owe me change, other than your financial capabilities.
What?
What financial capabilities? You owe me change, Jazz. I need $3 when I see you.
D'Asia, where you go?
No, D'Asia, come back.
Come back. We're waiting on the $50 question.
Come back. Come back.
D'Asia, these questions on the
read
first date
that
are
off
read.
first.
So, D'Asia, can you answer me this? So, if these aren't questions that I can ask,
Hold on, before you ask,
okay,
could you pull my plug? This got to be the Matrix. Pull it. You pull it.
D'Asia, can I ask you a question? So, what about you is worth me paying for on a first date? I'm assuming that on the first date you're not allowing us to have sex, right? So, if I'm not getting sex from you, what about you is worth me paying for if I can't ask these questions? Please answer that.
She act like we're asking her to pull it out and give it to us. All you have to do is tell us you have it. But you know the problem with that?
What?
Tell me if I'm wrong. If I tell you that I have effective communication, then you know you have to uphold that because it's going to come up. If I, as a woman, tell you that I have emotional intelligence, then you're going to have to uphold that when it come up. If I tell you that I'm goal-oriented or partnership-focused or vision-oriented, then you're going to have to hold up for that. I, as a woman, don't want to tell you anything that I'm well aware of that I'm not finna be doing, sir. I expect all that from you. And I just get the benefits when you do it because I'm not finna tell you that. Tell me I'm wrong. I need a $50 question.
Where y'all at?
I need a $50 question.
Does Carmilla, does she have a $50 question?
No.
Since she was saying she ain't.
Lilo said, if I can't think that way, I am beautiful, loyal, my love. I can provide and also be in equality with my partner, be the support and advisor of our relationship. Okay. Some stuff in there. Carmilla Bryant said, the man back in the day didn't have to ask what you bring to the table. Just our company was just enough, which goes to what you were saying. Raven said, great observation. Bracayla just started. Hey, Bracayla. I asked Carmilla, are we back there or here now? She said, men back in the day didn't ask. I said, well, are we back there or here now?
Right, we're here now.
And this speaks to something I told somebody the other day. The lady that I was going back and forth with, she said, well, I asked my married friends, and they said they never asked that question. I said, well, does their lack or their previous lack to ask the question make the question any less valid? Which I'm asking you the same thing, Carmilla. Just because no other man prior to this video has asked the question, does it make it less valid? And does it not warrant an answer because it's never been asked? And the example I gave the lady was, well, you state, well, anybody ever, my married friends, I never asked that, so I'm not going to answer it. I said, well, you're not married, right? She was like, yeah. I said, well, since you've never been married, when you get asked, are you not going to answer it? You're dodging again. Stop dodging questions, people.
Jasmine said, what if I am paying? Can I ask that question then? I'm trying to understand what you're looking for. I might be misunderstanding.
If you as the woman are paying, baby, even if you are or you aren't paying, you can ask me whatever you want to ask me. We don't have a problem with you asking us questions. So it's not a problem for us. It can be a $3 date. And then you got to pay no money for it. I don't have a problem with you asking me, what do I bring to the table? Because I understand that this table is going to be holding the rest of our life.
No, but she's saying, because she gave us a $50 question for us to ask the woman. But in the question it says, other than your financial capabilities. But we were telling her, well, we're referring to those women who don't believe they have to pay on the first date. So if they're not paying on the first date, how can we use financial capabilities when they're not giving us anything?
Why would we give them that anyway?
Right. D'Asia said, I'm confused too on what they're looking for. So, Deasia.
Let me get some Facebook comments real quick.
Okay.
Camilla Bryan says, so are you asking what financially do we bring to the table? We as women bring way more than that, and what good woman has to offer is worth way more than money. So what do y'all want? Carmilla Bryant, I want you to tell me what those things are that a good woman bring to the table. Don't use finances because we're not looking for that. Don't use cooking because we're not looking for that. Don't use cleaning because we're not looking for that. And don't use your vagina because there's plenty of that everywhere. So what we're looking for is, outside of these 4 things, what do the good woman bring to the table? Because you said it's way more than that and it's worth more than money. Give me those things that are way more and worth more than money. Go,
Deasia. So you're saying you're confused on what we're looking for. You're the one that made the statement earlier that the questions that we were asking women on the first date was too deep for a first date, right? So, and Adrian asked you, well, how much money are you expecting us to spend on the first date? You said we ain't doing 2 for $20. And so we said, okay, a $50 date. What questions can we ask you that are worth the $50 that I'm paying for this date? And the questions you gave us are 2 for $20 questions. So we need you, again, questions you gave us to ask you on a first date.
2 for 20.
So we need you to tell us what are $50 questions that we are allowed to ask you on a first date. Because the questions we were asking, you said that they were too deep for a first date, but you going in my pockets. $50 ain't too deep for my pockets, though.
Yeah. Now, the only woman that is excused from giving us a $50 question is a woman that must admit that she would walk up to a vending machine and put a $50 bill in it and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you would walk up to a vending machine and put a $50 bill in it and walk away, you don't have to answer that because you don't believe that your money should be compensated when you put it out.
Correct.
But if you believe that your $50 need to be bringing some return, you must provide an answer for the man that's providing the financial responsible part of this particular date that we're using to gauge each other.
Tracy Davenport said, hello, group. I'm running late. Hey, Tracy, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Yashimia. Hey, Berkayla. Hey.
Hey, for those of you that
Josh.
are tuning in on Facebook, please come to the YouTube Live.
Hey, Tracy.
If you're tuning in on Facebook, please come to the YouTube Live. The link is in the comments. Come to the YouTube. Make sure you like the video once you tune in. If you're tuning in on YouTube and you have not liked the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications.
We definitely appreciate y'all feedback.
Hannah Smith says, Shauna says, what type of dreams do you have, and are you comfortable with me pursuing my dreams outside of your own interests? So she's giving that as a $50 question. Do you approve? Deasia said, if $50 is too much for the first date, those dates later on gonna hurt your pockets. Also, women bring stability, structure, support emotionally and physically. You got it. You got
Me?
it. You got it.
Yeah. Let's deal with the first thing she said. What was the first comment? If the $20 date is too much, the rest of them gonna hurt your pocket.
If the $50 is too much for the first date, those dates later on are gonna hurt your pocket.
Hey Maggie. Hey
Maggie.
Miss Ware. So Deasia, let's deal with your first comment and then we're gonna deal with the second one. So you're saying if the $50 date is too much, then the rest of them are gonna hurt your pocket. The fact that you have still completely negated to answer and dodged what questions we can ask that would give us a return on our money, and then you're projecting as if I'm going to continue to put more money in and I didn't even get the drink for the first $50. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You real life completely negated the question and you answered with, oh, well, if you think the $50 was enough, wait till you see how much I'm going to charge for the other one. Ma'am, the fact that you think that I'm going to put another $50 in this machine and I didn't even get my first order.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't no drink come out the machine the first time.
No snack.
But you think I'm fit? No snack. No. Now you know sometimes the bag of chips get backed up behind each other. It ain't even nothing on this rack.
It's all gone.
Even if I hit the side of the machine, nothing is gonna fall. Cause you've given me nothing to look forward to pressing buttons to get out. Mm-hmm. So let's do away with that. Her second comment was what?
Also, women bring stability, structure, support emotionally and physically.
Okay. Deasia. When you say support, what do you mean? When you say stability, what are you keeping stabilized? Mm-hmm. And she said emotional what?
Emotional and physical support.
Okay, Deasia. The reason I know that your answer can't be specifically true to you because I'm emotionally intelligent, but I can only imagine if I was involved with you romantically, the fact that I'm asking so many very specific questions and you fail to answer any, that would put me in an emotional space. Could you see how that would put anyone in an emotional space? The fact that I'm asking questions, especially if we have kids. So now I'm concerned about the well-being of my children not having these skills in my absence, such as my death or me going off to work. And now my wife can't even answer a question that my children is going to need someone to help them grow and develop in. That's emotionally damaging to me as a man. Mm-hmm. So you can't be providing emotional stability based on the comments that you're giving me in a real live conversation where we're trying to gauge the productivity of a prosperous relationship.
Mm-hmm. She said your comment is a red flag. Which comment are you referring to as a red flag, DH? CC Zone said I spend $50 by myself, and that's something. Are you bragging about that?
Yeah, like is that
like that's not a flex? Yeah, like that.
And okay, CC, do you think it's too deep on a first date to ask for the man to ask the woman outside of coochie, cooking, and cleaning, what do you offer in a relationship? Do you think it's too deep? Carmela Bryan said, what I personally bring to the table is my support, my spiritual support as a woman of God, my capability of turning a house into a home, awesome conversation, fun and loving attitude, and a person that will always have your back. Okay. So we're talking about in the context of a relationship, right? Because we're trying to gauge if we're going to get married. Mm-hmm. So you said your support. Okay, your support is going to be hinged on me actually doing something. Mm-hmm. If I'm not doing nothing with my life, there's nothing for you to support, right? So that can't be a thing in the context that we're speaking of. Your spiritual support, I can understand that one, but that's something that you're going to have to lead, though. Like, you would have to lead in the conversation of where that man stands spiritually. And are you matured enough spiritually to lead that man if he's spiritually less immature than you? Like, are you prepared for that?
And most women don't want that.
Most women don't want that. They want to be led because the spiritual side of it talks about the man being the leader in the spiritual aspect. Mm-hmm. So that is kind of counterintuitive to what you're bringing. You said your capability of turning a house into a home. Well, we're not married yet. Mm-hmm. I'm gauging if I want to actually live in this home with you. So that can't be a thing either. Awesome conversation. Okay, so you're saying you have good conversation. Great. You're fun and a loving attitude. Great. A person that will always have your back. You're loyal. Cool. I'll give you those 3. Great. Any problem with those 3? Mm-mm. Cool. You got 3 out of those.
CC Zone said, it's Yashimia. That's my baby YouTube name. Hey, Yashimia. Long time no see. The agent said, I feel that question on the first date is inappropriate because some would feel it would be inappropriate to ask what makes you a man on the first date. I'm going to read. Yashimia said, on the first date, I don't mind going half or I pay for myself and you pay for yourself. I'm not here for your money, but to get to know you.
Okay, then. Okay. Thank you.
So, Deasia, do you not think...
How's she speaking on behalf of us? She ain't spoken for her yet. I'm so sorry. Deasia, I don't think it's fair for you to speak for men. Because she said, I feel like most men would be inappropriate. You can't speak for us, Deasia, and you ain't even spoke for yourself yet. Mm-hmm. So we can't accept your answer on our behalf, telling us that we would be offended by our question, and you have yet to answer any of our questions.
So let me use an example. So there was a post on TikTok. No, I was watching this on YouTube. It's a YouTube pay. These two guys named Abba and Preach. They got a YouTube channel, and what they do is they watch videos and critique the content on the videos. And so they were watching one video about a TikTok that was posted about a man who had taken a woman out on a date, right? And where they went was Applebee's. He took her out to Applebee's on a date. I'm guessing this is the first date.
2 for 20 DH.
So they get there, they get drinks and stuff like that, and over the course of the date, she asks this man how much money he makes, like a year. Like she literally asks him, how much money do you make? Before he answers, she then tries to say, I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm shallow or anything like that, but then proceeds to say, I don't date broke men. And then tells him, like, this will never happen again. You are to take me somewhere more expensive than Applebee's, right? So we keep harking back to the point where women assuming that not only men are 100% financially responsible on the first date, but then there's also a minimum requirement of money to be spent on this first date.
But we can't ask a question.
And we can't. But you think asking what you bring to the table is more inappropriate than assuming that I have the funds to spend on an expensive date?
My thing is, I would not have any problem with what she asked him, because say he responded 100,000, cool. In her mind, bet you meet the requirements. If he would have responded to her, well, what do you bring to a relationship? And she would have popped off with effective communication, emotional intelligence, foreknowledge, family-oriented, goal-driven, vision-focused, self-determination. I'm self-taught. I self-study. Like,
bet
if she would have went...
You worth $100,000.
Check, please. We're not eating here. I'm so sorry, baby. Will never happen again. Will never happen again. And that's the thing. We are cool with you financially gauging us. We're not cool with not getting a drink when I put this money in the machine. That's the best way I can paint it.
That's all we asking for.
I'm cool with
we just want a return on our investment.
I'm cool with paying $50 for Coke because I like Coke. So nobody, how many people you see walking to a vending machine and put a $50 bill in there?
No.
I kid you not. I like Coke so much that if it was a Coke machine outside and it had $50 on it, I will swipe a card. Why?
Why?
Because I like Coke. And what we're telling you is, as men, especially men with money and substance, not just money because they get a little foolish, but money and substance, I need effective communication, not just communication. Emotional intelligence, self-control, accountability, responsibility. If you can tell me you have those 5 things, I have no problem with giving you access to $100,000 a year. But if you can't tell me that you don't have anything besides cooking, cleaning, and coochie, I'm not paying $100,000 a year for that. Because 2 of those I can do myself, and the other one I got enough money to go get it. Hold on, wait. We had a long comment.
Okay.
Jonah Harris said, what I bring to the table is a strong belief in God, faith in that I have complete trust in him and lead and guide me and my partner as he teaches us to walk where he leads me, which means that you should be able to trust me and depend on me. I bring to the table unconditional love, which is very difficult for us as humans to master. Most of us love with limits. I have some, but I feel there is nothing too hard for God to heal. I bring an undeniable desire to the virtuous woman of the Bible. A godly man desires commitment, loyalty, and a man who wants to have spiritual, sacred covenant between a man and a wife. I don't mind paying for my own food on the first date, no matter who asks. Cool. I can live with that. I'll pay $50 for that. I'll pay $50 for that. Cool. Lilo said, so as what Miss Bryant stated, then women were always catered and focused on by men during the first date and moving. Oh my gosh. And moving forward. So now with the generation that's changed the logic of how relationships should turn out to be, most women can't answer the way we want to hear due to what they have been used to. You are absolutely right, Lilo. And truly and faithfully, I agree with our generation wants to change the game for the dating world. Communication, good time, and awesome chemistry. Set goals to get to know each other and much more. I agree. Camilla Brown said, thank you. I got 3. Yay. You did good. Lilo, well, provide for my sister here then, brother, because I meet all 5. Lilo, you do know I know you, right?
Like we're friends.
We like real friends. Like we friends for real. Yashimi said, you married, you don't count. Who better to take the advice from?
Who better? So, Yashimi said, a guy took me to Zaxby's once. I'm not going to lie. I was upset, then complained about the price of bowling and left. I'm not a gold digger, but dang. See? What do men expect in return for $50, though? She also asked. Deasia said, I can't come up with a question because at this point, you guys are wanting to go tit for tat. She keeps saying it. Sometimes you're going to take a loss on the first date. Sometimes?
She's Goku with the dives.
Son.
Deasia.
Go.
No, it's on you. It's on you.
Deasia, we're always taking a loss on the first date. We are never not taking a loss.
And the second, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth.
And the rest of our life.
And the reason we're having this conversation because we're tired of losing.
And you know what's crazy? It's easy for her to say sometimes you're going to take a loss on the first date.
But she not willing to
when
take
you
a
don't
loss.
have to take a loss.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. People who have always had money cannot tell poor people who then come up on money that money is not everything. Like when you've never had
you don't have
to
a
face,
comparison.
you don't. When you've never had to face financial hardship, you can't sit up and tell somebody who's only faced hardship that, hey, you don't need to worry about money. You need to be worried about other things. Sir, I don't have a place to sleep.
You don't have a comparison.
So for you to say sometimes you're going to take a loss, who are you to say that when you've never
had to
take a
be
loss?
in our shoes.
Have you answer this honestly and transparently? Have you ever asked anybody out? Have you ever asked a man out and took them out on the first date and taken a loss on the first date? Answer that.
Yes or no?
We'll wait.
We'll be waiting. We'll be waiting.
That's crazy.
Lilo said fatality.
Thea just said, at this point, you should say, well, let me stop and see, do I need to spend more or do I need to slow down on the questions?
But Deasia, the fact that no question has been answered, how can I slow down and we ain't even put it in drive yet? So you're telling me how to gauge it. You're telling me what to spend. You're telling me how to feel. And all I'm asking is, what am I receiving for this investment? Because unless you would walk up to a vending machine and put money in it and walk away without getting anything back, everyone listening to this video is responsible for providing a return when someone pours something in. Give me one thing in life that works like that, where you walk up and you will give somebody something, give somebody some money and not expect something. The only people you do that to is homeless people or people who need charity. Help me if I'm wrong. Under no other circumstances do we put money anywhere and not expect a return outside of homeless, charitable children, dogs, or people.
Oh, she said you are receiving a good time, good vibes. Okay, so let's start. I'm glad you said that, Deasia, because a lot of women say this. A lot of women, they in response to what is a man getting out of paying for everything on the first date, women always say my time, right? So for all of the things that are required of a man, again, he has to have a good amount of money, which takes a lot of time spent at work, a lot of hours spent at work.
Energy.
He has to have some sort of status, so he has to spend
Resources.
time building that status by utilizing resources that he had to garner with the job that he has to spend time working at. he has to be in shape, so he has to have to spend time working out at the gym and buying food to eat healthy and cooking and cleaning, all of that. Like, there are so many things that a man has to spend time working at and building upon, that you're saying that your time is more valuable than the time that I'm taking away from doing all of the things that made me attractive to you. That your time is more valuable than my time that's being taken away, and because I decided to use that towards you.
And it would be, your time would be more valuable than mine if you could answer the question.
Like, that's all you have to do is ask the question.
It's possible that your time is more valuable or it outweighs mine. But this man just named all he had to do to even get to this date. You need to name what makes your time, energy, and resources spent more or equal of value, and we can move forward. If you do not, and we've been on this video an hour, and I've asked the same question in multiple different ways, and you fail to answer at any time, have anything to contribute, then you cannot.
You can't say it, bro.
You can't say that.
Like, my time, even if I did ask you out, my time that I'm taking away from all the things that I'm investing in, which is, my job, financial standing, my mental and physical health, all of that stuff, my spiritual and emotional well-being, that is valuable time that I'm taking away from that and giving to you. So you can't sit there and say, well, you're getting my time. Is my time not valuable as well? Yeah. So what else am I getting from spending my resources and energy into you for? What am I getting out of that?
Yashimi said, I'm trying to learn how to date again, and my patience is so low coming out of a 7-year relationship. Half the time, I don't even make it to the first date. I feel it needs to be clear up front of what you expect and what your intentions are. I'm totally with you. Hey, Brianna. Lilo says, women and men should know and understand this. Dates should not have a price over the title. Dates must have values. Absolutely agree. Jonah, you just confirmed exactly what I just said. She said, I have given money to people and projects when I am led by the Holy Spirit of God to do so. Obedience to him is my reward. Even then, you are expecting, or even if you're not expecting it, based on our belief system, it's built into us to know that a reward is coming. And these women on here who attest or agree to the comments at hand, you're saying that you overshadow principles of God. The Lord said, give and you shall receive. I ain't trying to preach, but come on. Like, how are you superseding God?
It's crazy.
He said, give and you shall be received. Pour and it shall be poured back into you measures. But these women are convinced that don't apply to them. But they can't name any other avenue in life where they would go put money out and not expect any type of return. Nobody on this earth can say that. And the only people we do that to is people who are less fortunate. And even in that less fortunateness, God then gives us a reward. So how do women think that they overshadow that principle of life? Even if you don't believe in God, let's just use the universe, right? They believe in vibrations. No matter what you believe in, there's an innateness about us that know when we genuinely give to those who don't have, there's rewards that come unto us. And you telling me as a woman, you expect to receive and not be responsible to give anything. And we ain't even talking vagina. That's why I like our conversations, because normally it's, well, you should at least give me the vagina. We're not even asking for vagina.
That one time.
We're not asking for vagina. And you can't think of not one other thing. So all we got left is vagina.
And they wonder why men are expecting that, because you're not offering anything else. That's all you have to offer. Offer something else.
Give me something else.
We're literally asking you, and then you have the nerve to dictate what kind of questions we can ask.
I've named like 10 to 12 things you can give. Notice noun woman has said, oh, I got that. I named a bunch of, I even had my hands in the camera. Now one of y'all like, oh, I got that one. No, they didn't even hear that because it don't exist to them.
Yeah.
Jonah said, Yeshima said, don't over generalize now. Let me put my headphones on. It's crazy. It's crazy.
This is definitely going to be a part 2 For sure.
Man, I love it though. We definitely appreciate the feedback. We definitely appreciate the comments. No beef. We just trying to have a conversation.
Oh, she gonna let us have it tomorrow.
Oh, man.
she gonna let us have it tomorrow.
Y'all didn't have to do all that. And then, she gonna tell her homegirl. She gonna, I knew that was gonna start. That's why I didn't even say nothing. I was watching it, but I wasn't finna say nothing, girl.
Cornelia says, sorry I'm late. What's
Corn.
up, brother?
It's been good, Corn. It's been real good.
Definitely. You missed a good conversation.
Hey, Swan.
So we got 7 people watching, but only 2 likes. If you're watching, please like the video. Please like the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on.
Lila said, "Pay your tithes in this relationship." At least 20%.
At least 20%. I need 20%.
Give me 20%. You can keep
that's
the 80.
All we asking,
I need the 20.
That's all we asking for.
Oh my gosh.
But we're gonna end the video here. Like I said, we are gonna do part 2 to Conversation Rules the Nation next week. Man, so again, please like the video. If you are tuning in, like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you can catch the next time we go live. Every Thursday at 7 o'clock. Be there or be square.
Corn said even got on the S for 10.
Bro, women really I be asking for more than God.
I told her that you not God. You not God.
Bruh.
Man.
Hey, if you're tuning in on Facebook, please come and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just
also
type in
like
Aaron
and share
Tate.
it.
Just type in Aaron Tate. You should see the videos that we posted so far. Please come and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn on post notifications so you can catch next time we go live. Again, catch us same time, same place next week. But right now, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye to our future selves. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and commenting. This has been a very interesting conversation, a very enlightening conversation.
Camilla Bryan said, trick questions. Yoshima said, so dang, I can't ask for 50%? Y'all are ridiculous. Come on, man.
Come on, we got to stop it.
We got to stop.
One day we'll look back on this and wonder why we were ever like this in the first place, but we're going to holler at you guys.
What up, Chris Cud? Check out the video.
Check out the
video.
Replay
it. It was a good one.
Peace. Peace.